Why 19 July is critical and a risky day. When most people hear those words, their minds tighten up. The body reacts before the full meaning even sinks in. Just the word dangerous can make our heart build a wall. But what makes a certain day dangerous? Is it the events that might take place? Is it the fear of loss, failure, or the unknown? Or is it because on such a day we're made to face a side of ourselves we usually keep hidden? The mind naturally wants safety. It builds habits and routines so it can feel like it knows what's coming. It grabs onto the familiar like a child holding tightly to a parent in the dark. But life isn't always meant to be easy or predictable. Life flows like seasons. It brings sunshine and storms, growth and pause. And certain days, like 19 July, those so-called dangerous days, don't come to harm us. They come to shake us awake. A dangerous day is not something to fear. It's more like a reflection. It shows us what truly lives inside us. Not the image we show to the world when everything feels okay, but the version that exists underneath the surface. The one that is unsure. The one that is scared. The one that must decide whether to fall apart or rise above. And most importantly, it reminds us that we always have that choice. Always. Even when you feel stuck, even when everything seems out of control, there is still a small, secret space between what happens to you and how you react. That space is your spirit. And it can grow bigger if you let it. When you stand in front of the mirror that the dangerous day shows you, what do you actually see? Maybe you see tiredness, maybe you notice fear, maybe it's shame or regret or anger. But if you look a little longer, past the first wave of body reactions and mental noise, you may begin to notice something deeper. Stillness. A calm part of you that quietly watches everything play out without being affected. That silent watcher, that calm awareness, that is your real self. It's not afraid of tough days. It doesn't need to hide or fight. It only asks for one thing, that you recognize it and return to it. The first change needs to happen in how you view the situation. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what am I being shown that I usually ignore? The storm isn't just out there in the world. It often mirrors an inner storm. So when a day comes that shakes things up, it's not because life is cruel. It's because life is wise. Life gives us what we need to grow, to become more aware and to see more clearly. The challenge isn't blocking your way. The challenge is the way. In the Shaolin tradition, there is a saying, the more you sweat while training, the less you bleed during real struggle. But this is about more than just martial arts. It's about preparing the mind for the unexpected. It's about building inner strength so that the outer world can't knock you down so easily. On a tough day, all the work you've done is tested. The routines you've practiced, the self-awareness you've built, the breathing exercises you've done in peaceful times, those are what need to show up now. That's why we practice, not for when everything is going well, but for the moments when it's not. We shouldn't pretend that a difficult day is somehow lovely. It can be really hard. It might bring situations that break your heart. It might uncover old wounds you forgot were there. But even that is a gift, because we can't heal what we're hiding. The purpose of the dangerous day isn't to destroy you. It's to show you what no longer belongs in your life. It points to the habits, attachments, beliefs and fears that are keeping you stuck. People often ask, how can I tell if I'm on the right path? And the answer isn't always peace or confidence. Sometimes the true sign of growth is that your world begins to shake. What you once relied on no longer works. The people around you may change. Your old routines stop making sense. That's not failure. That's real transformation, like a seed breaking apart in the soil before it can grow. From the outside, it might seem like things are falling apart, but from the inside, it's the start of something new. On 19 July or on any day that feels heavy, you are invited to step into this change with full awareness. When you feel overwhelmed, stop. Don't push it away. Take a deep breath, take a step back from your feelings and ask, what am I truly scared of? Try to follow that fear to where it starts. Is it fear of losing something? Of not being good enough? Of being truly seen? Once you know where the fear comes from, you start to take back your power. Fear only grows in the dark. It weakens when you shine awareness on it. It's not enough to simply make it through a hard day. You need to grow from it. What does that really mean? It means you become more aware of how you react. It means you begin to trust yourself more deeply. It means you no longer have to control everything outside of you, because you've found calm inside yourself. The strength of the monk isn't in avoiding pain, it's in walking through pain with calmness, knowing that pain isn't the end of the story. It's the start of waking up to something deeper. So the mirror a difficult day shows you is not one of failure, it's one of truth. You are not being punished, you are being seen, not by others, but by yourself. And that version of you, even if it feels weak, even if it's tired or wants to escape, that part is still worthy of love. That part needs kindness, not judgment. You don't become stronger by ignoring your pain. You grow stronger by facing it and learning from it. Many people never reach their full strength because they spend their whole lives avoiding discomfort. But every wise person, every spiritual teacher, every elder who shines with calm, they've all been through days like these. They didn't become fearless, they just stopped letting fear make their choices. They faced it and they kept going. Can you sit with the discomfort without rushing to escape it? Can you be still even when the world feels like it's spinning? That is your true training. That is the spiritual journey. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay present. Watch yourself. Feel the tightness. Feel the breath going through that tightness. And realize this, too, is part of the path. The world around you might not understand your silence, your calm, your focus on the inner world during days like this. But you're not here to be understood by others. You're here to understand yourself. You're here to remember who you really are beneath the chaos. And that deep memory of your true self can only come when the noise fades. The difficult day clears the noise. It pulls away the fade ground so you can find your footing within. And when the day ends, when the sky becomes quiet again, you'll notice that something in you has shifted. Not because you avoided the hard moment, but because you stood inside it. And by facing it, you met your true self. So on 19 July, or on any day that arrives with pressure or intensity, don't wish for it to be over fast. Wish for the courage to stay awake through it. Don't ask for the road to be easy. Ask that your steps grow more steady. Don't ask for comfort. Ask for the strength to keep going through the discomfort. Ask not for simplicity, but for depth. Because only through the lens of a demanding day do you discover who you are truly destined to be. Ultimately, the purpose of the challenge isn't to prove anything to others. It's to expose everything to yourself. The way of the internal fighter, the way of the mindful seeker, the way of truth. It's not a route of evasion. It's a route of bravery, of breathing, of finding stillness amid motion. And when you learn to gaze into the mirror that a day like this offers, and no longer look away, you will understand the day was never dangerous. It was holy. The challenge wasn't against you. It was for you. And the mirror was never blank. It was always reflecting the warrior within. Your inner fighter isn't born from comfort. It isn't awakened by cheers, by compliments, or by ease. It slumbers when life is soft. It only rises when the world pushes back, when the load becomes too heavy to carry lightly, when you're brought to the limits of your patience, your strength, your faith. That's when the forging starts. The pressure isn't an accident, it's the method. In the martial path, we understand that a warrior isn't the one who appears strongest. He isn't loud. He doesn't seek fights. He is silent, disciplined, grounded. His power is unseen until it's tested. And only under great strain does what lies hidden inside turn visible outside. Just as a blade must be heated to be shaped, your inner power must be called forth during adversity. Pressure isn't something to avoid. It's something to move into with awareness. The mistake most make is believing struggle is failure. They assume that if life is hard, something is wrong. But that's not true. Struggles don't mean you're losing. They mean you're evolving. They mean life sees your potential and is calling it out. The Shaolin way teaches us to welcome the challenge. During a monk's training, he's not after calm. He's after mastery. And mastery only grows when body and mind are placed in situations where old patterns fail. You can only master breath when you're out of breath. You can only command the mind when it's full of noise. And you can only steel your spirit when the fire threatens to consume. So when a day like July 19 arrives, with tension, conflict, confusion, remember, the day isn't opposing you. The pressure you sense is what's rousing the strength within that has been dormant. You're being called back to something you forgot, that you are stronger than the everyday version of yourself. Inside you lies deep discipline, bold courage, calm stillness, qualities that do not appear when life is easy. To be forged by pressure means letting the burden shape you. It means stopping the fight against hardship and beginning to work with it. Like clay in a sculptor's hands, you let life craft you. When stress arrives, breathe deeper. When conflict escalates, become more still. When you are attacked, don't defend. Listen not to agree, but to understand what in you still reacts. The warrior doesn't worry about being right. He cares about being clear. Every emotion that surfaces, anger, fear, anxiety, is a signal. It's the voice of ego trying to guard its structure. But the internal fighter doesn't follow ego. He acts from presence. He isn't swept away by feeling. He isn't driven by thought. He breathes, observes, then acts. Not from panic, but from principle. That is the difference between being shaped by pressure and being shattered by it. And here's the truth too many ignore. Pressure is a privilege. Not everyone gets to face experiences that awaken their potential. Many go through life sheltered by smallness, by mediocrity, by routines that demand nothing. They're never challenged to dive deeper because they never allow themselves to step out of the familiar. But when you commit to the path of self-mastery, life begins to test you, not to destroy you, but to uncover you. When the weight builds, you might feel like you're drowning. But the fighter knows that even drowning has a lesson. He stops fighting the water and becomes still. In that stillness, he finds the rhythm. The same is true for your life. When everything seems overwhelming, when the burden is too much, when your plans unravel and the ground shifts, don't rush to run, don't give in. Stay in the pressure. Feel it. Let it strip away what's false. Let it peel off what you no longer need. Because this is what pressure does. It burns away the unnecessary. It dissolves the armor you wear for show. It removes false strength founded on circumstance. And what remains? The real you. The you that doesn't need approval. The you that doesn't crave control. The you that can sit through the storm without shutting your eyes. The warrior inside who knows survival isn't the goal. Awakening is. You must be willing to endure with awareness. That means when pain comes, you don't complain. You don't escape it. You study it. You let it teach you. You let it take you inward. And you ask, what in me is being purified? What must I let go to rise? Pain isn't punishment. It's process. It's how the soul sharpens itself. You must learn to bow before it. Not in surrender, but in honor. There's no shortcut to becoming who you're meant to be. You have to walk through the valley. You have to face the mirror. You have to let pressure expose your flaws so you can transform them. The warrior isn't born in ideas. He's born in action. He's born in those quiet moments when no one's watching, yet he still shows up. He's born in the discipline of breathing through discomfort, of rising before sunrise, doing what needs to be done, even when he wants to quit. Every day brings small pressures. Every time you're asked to wait, to listen, to hold your tongue, to release, insisting on being right, to take the higher path. That's your training. And when bigger challenges arrive, you won't be surprised because you've already prepared your spirit. You've already strengthened your mind. You've already practiced grace under fire. Ask ChatGPT,